Yo, what's good everybody? I hope you're all doing well. So it's been a while since the last Q&A video, I think a couple of years now, so I've decided to make a new one, and these are the answers to the questions that were asked. Scott D asks, are there any plans for upcoming collaborations? Definitely I am open to new collaborations in the future, but right now there's nothing set in stone, but for sure I'm always looking for more people to collaborate with, and if the right opportunity comes, and it's a song that I want to do or an opportunity I want to take, for sure that collaboration will happen. Digital Marketing Humans asks, since we live in a simulation, what's the next plan for the band? Are you going to just continue to the solo route or will you recruit new members? I'm digging the one-man band. Cool, well, thank you. I think the next plans right now is to just do more covers on the YouTube channel. I'm definitely working on more original music for the future. I'm hoping to release like a new EP or a new album, not just singles like we've been doing for the last little while. I'm not closing the door completely on getting new members, but I think right now I'm happy doing the one-man band thing. But if the right person comes, maybe it'll happen, but for now it'll just be a one-man band. Alec Ramey asks, I've been a fan for years now. Thanks for continuing to provide the good stuff. Now on to my question. I'm personally looking to get a bigger following for my own music. Do you have any tips? I think one of my tips for you would be to stay consistent. So try to release new content maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks or something like that. And also try to come up with original ideas that maybe you think people would be into. For example, like when we started our channel, right? Like the first video that everybody kind of discovered from us was the Green Day medley video, and we kind of went the extra mile on it and everything. We did all the costumes, the different outfits for the different eras. We did the different specific instruments and stuff like that. So I think if you try to do something original that people will relate to, I think that would help a lot. Ayush Sharma asks, how do you record your covers? Please walk us through your setup, hardware, DAW, etc. Okay, so there's a few things that I use for my covers, not a whole lot of equipment, but just what I need. So the first thing that I use is the Scarlett Solo from Focusrite. So this is the interface that I've been using for 5-6 years. Very simple interface, just has for your guitar and your mic. Recently I switched to a Focusrite Sapphire to do the vocals, and that one's a little bit big, so probably I'll show that in a different gear video. For microphones, I've been using mostly the Rode NT1A, and you can see that over there. But recently I also got the Shure SM7B, which is a nice upgrade from that for cool, more meatier vocals. For guitars, I mostly use my Epiphone Les Paul Classic Worn. I love the color on this. In terms of the specs on the guitar, it's actually just stock. I just switched a couple aesthetic looking things, like I got cooler looking knobs, I switched into a chrome switch tip, I changed the truss rod cover. Probably I'll make a couple more changes to it, but right now it's completely stock. And then another main guitar I use is this Squier Strat. It's a Squier, but when I bought it off the person, I don't know, they took the logo off. And this one I modded myself, so I put Seymour Duncan Invader in it, so it's kind of like a Tom DeLonge build. Yeah. Okay, next question. Marc Cheah asks, what was the process when you were making the medleys videos? How long did they take to make? How did you decide on what song would flow into another? And did any of the band members see your medleys? Okay, so how long did they take to make? I think usually it probably took a couple of months to plan the whole thing out and record everything. In terms of writing the medley and deciding what songs will go into another, Steven really did a lot of that. He was kind of like the mastermind behind composing the medleys and everything. In terms of filming the medleys, it usually only took one day, but it would be like a full day. So we probably start around 10, 11 a.m. in the morning, and we'll probably finish around 9 p.m. at night, something like that. And then for the more recent medleys that we've done, so we did the Red medley and the Fearless medley for Taylor Swift, so probably that took me a couple of months as well. The challenge with that is I had to fit every song that was in the album into it, so I kind of just experimented with a few different things, a few different combinations to see what song would flow nicely into another. And it's really just all about like kind of trial and error when it comes to those kinds of things. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how those ones turned out too. And then, did any of the band members ever see our medleys? Okay, for sure, the all-time low one was seen by Alex and Jack. The Green Day one ended up on their website, but I don't know if like Billy, Mike, or Trey ever saw it. And then the Sum 41 one, I believe Cone did see that video as well. Okay, next question, Zaiah Fox, do you plan on doing any live solo performances in the future? And then WoodyPearcemusic asks, what are the plans for the future in terms of live performances? So probably I will plan on doing something like that eventually. There's nothing set right now, but if there's any like live streams, anything like that, I can see myself doing something like that. So I'm open to anything. So maybe one day too, I can start performing on stage again. Okay, then CuckerBuster asks, what's it like making music, like writing and playing? I've been trying to write music with some friends and would like advice. Yeah, I think it's definitely fun. It's one of the things I love the most doing. I think over the years it's become more challenging and more challenging the more I started writing and trying to improve. And I think the number one thing that you should try to do is try to write music for fun and for yourself. And, you know, maybe along the way, people will start listening to your music. You know, it's natural to put pressure on yourself to try to write the next biggest thing or like the best work you've ever put out. But I think, you know, if you try to sit back and just let the creativity flow within you and just write a lot and try to practice writing often, that would be good. Another thing with that is you don't want to just keep waiting for inspiration to hit you. You want to constantly be searching for inspiration, whether that's through listening to more music, trying to write different things, or watching your favorite musicians play, like things like that. Find inspiration and constantly be writing music, and always do it for the love and passion of it. Okay, 9SWK9 asks, what got you into wrestling? Favorite fight in the Dragon Ball Super? And do you like other K-pop groups outside of Blackpink? Okay, so what got me into wrestling, I think when I was maybe 10 or 11 years old, I started playing these games on PS2. So the game that I started playing first was SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. Then I started playing SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, and I really loved those games. Eventually, I started tuning into wrestling right after WrestleMania 22. This was the era of John Cena, Edge, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. Like, I watched Raw usually more than SmackDown, so my favorite wrestler of all time is Shawn Michaels. And when DX got back together, that was like my favorite time of wrestling, and I think it's still my favorite thing ever. For Dragon Ball Super, I would say my favorite fight would be with Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku teaming up against Goku Black. Trunks is my favorite character, and seeing him get stronger and stronger was great. And do you like other K-pop groups outside of Blackpink? I haven't checked out that many K-pop groups. I definitely like Blackpink. I also like BTS, but I haven't listened to as many of their songs. But you know, the popular ones I like a lot. I will try to get into more K-pop groups in the future though, for sure. Okay, I think this is how you pronounce it, Sabah 182 or Sabah 182. If you could tour with anyone, past or present, who would that be? I would say for me it would probably be Green Day. And they also ask, who's your favorite musicians and who's your biggest inspiration? I'm sure you guys have seen it in my videos. My favorite musicians are Green Day, Taylor Swift, and Michael Jackson. When I was a kid, Michael Jackson was like the first artist that I ever got into. He introduced me to, you know, singing and basically music in general. Eventually, when I got older, I started getting into like Green Day and Blink-182 and that kind of stuff. So Green Day was the band that inspired me to try to become a musician and want to be a frontman as well, because I was very shy when I was younger and still kind of am now. And then Taylor Swift, like I love her music, and seeing her music evolve over the years from like country to pop is just so cool, and like her songwriting inspires me so much, and I think she's probably the person that inspires me to keep trying to improve my songwriting. And then in terms of who's my biggest inspiration, so outside of those three, I like watching basketball a lot. So Kobe Bryant is like my hero. So he would be my biggest inspiration. Okay, Rayman Bandicoot asks, can we do a collaboration covering Sum 41? No reason. So right now, I'm not really interested in covering Sum 41. I haven't had any plans for any of their old stuff. So not right now. Marc Cheah asks, do another gear video. Oh yeah, for sure. So probably I'll do another gear video eventually. I haven't gotten that much new equipment since the last time we did make a gear video, but eventually when I start to get more equipment, have some cooler stuff to show you guys, I think I should make a new gear video. Then the last question, I'm not really sure if it's a question, but Ted Garrison asks, A New Hope Blink 905 style. I think you're asking if I should cover A New Hope in like my own style. Yeah, I think I could probably do that eventually. I don't have any plans for it right now, but maybe when I get back into doing more Blink stuff, I could consider that. So that's it for this Q&A video, guys. Thank you again for submitting your questions, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And shout out to everybody that submitted a question. I'll try to do more Q&A videos more often now. Yeah, so if you have a question, leave it in the comment below. I'll try to answer it in the next Q&A video. Thank you. Have a good day.